After you finish task 8, the name of this worksheet will be IFS. The reason is just if and is what we are going to talk about in this task. Okay, let's choose A4 and we want to type in equal if is blank balance. You know the balance is the name of the cell A1. Okay, comma, double quotation mark. No data is available. And double quotation mark, comma, and A3. You can type A3 or you can just click the cell A3. Then type closed parenthesis and hit enter. Then now you see exactly same results like this one has, right? Because the command in here is if, and it asking whether the cell in balance or the array which is titled balance is blank. The result is no, we have some values in there, so it's gonna accept this result which is A3. So in A4 we are gonna have a copy of that. But what happens if we change the values in A1? So 2. Still same thing, the only change is the values of it. But if you just delete the whole entry and hit enter, then you see we have this string text from that if function. Now the situation is whenever we type certain number here, we got the results, and even it accept empty case, right? But what happens if we typed in, maybe by accident or just for some purpose, just typed in some text? Everything changes, because let me delete. In this kind of commands like the function if function, it accepts as a value, right? Okay, from there on, that's how we count, right? So if it's not a value, it's not a number, then it doesn't know how to handle it. So we have to make sure we only typed in a number here. So how can you guarantee that part, or how can you make sure, okay, we made a mistake or something happens? So not only just two cases, no data is available or A3, we want something else in there. And for that, in A4, you can just type in very similar commands, equals if is text instead of is blank, right? And of course, same cell, so balance. And if it's a text instead of a value, a number, then we want to say it's invalid data, because we cannot compare, or we don't want to accept the text in there, right? And let's say if it's not, so the whole this if formula at this moment is whether the value in this cell balance is text. If it's true, so if it's a text is there, then we want to see, oh, invalid data in cell A5. But if it's not, which means what? It's a number, right? It's not text. Then we want to get the results like we have here, right? So how about A4 in this case? Hit enter. So right now the data is available because it's empty, not a number, not a text. Okay, so if you type 1, 2, yes, we got the same results like that. But if you typed certain string or text, then these are messy. But in here it says, oh, we have invalid data, so please change it. So it's very kind and nice by that. So altogether, how about just make one command, one formula to handle all of this? Okay, so let me change that one first. So in A6, how about typed in the whole thing, but please refer from your lecture note. This is what I want, and let me click here. Okay, your account is in credit at $1. It's same as all this, but look at the comments. It's all different, right? The first part is asking whether the balance cell has text. If it's yes, then we want to say invalid data. If it's not, then we want to do certain things, which is another if function. So this is very useful. If function can be done by this way many times. Usually it was up to 7 ifs in the previous Excel, and I haven't checked whether they increase the number of it, but there is another way to put the extra ifs. Even they have some kind of restriction like that, right? So, but usually we don't need that many ifs, right? So this if statement is inside the first if statement, right? So listen carefully. This second if statement, if formula, is working only when the first if statement is false, right? So let's say it's 1, 2, then it's not text, then it's going to apply this. So in this case, it's just asking again whether that balance cell has a number or blank. If it's a blank, we need to say no data is available, but it's a number, then it's not blank, right? So we have to accept the third one, the second one, which is this one, right? So that's the command in there. So what happens if we make it blank? Then it says data is not available. What happens if we type certain text? Then we got invalid data for that. So with one command, one formula, of course it's a combination of two ifs formulas, but we can do all these together. So this is going to be very handy, and you're going to need this one a lot.